What's up, Switch? Woo! All right, in case we haven't had the opportunity to meet yet, my name is Preston, and I get the privilege of being your associate youth pastor here at Switch. And today, I am very excited because we are hopping into a new collection of sermons called Keep Digging. Someone say, Keep Digging. All right, bet. I'm glad y'all were there with me for that. So this year, we have had a word for the year, and that word is environments, right? We've been looking at our environments. We've been looking at the things we can put in our environments, the things we can cultivate in our environments so that we can become the fully devoted followers of Christ that we are called to be. And so we had a whole collection of sermons called Environmental Hazards, right? And we looked at the things in our soil that we needed to get out of our soil so that our soil can be good to cultivate those things. And so what this series is going to be is now that we've gotten the bad things out, now that we've gotten the toxic things out of our environment, we can start digging into the soil to find the diamonds that are there. We're going to find purpose in this series, and I'm super excited about it. But before we can ever activate on our purpose, we have to start digging, and we have to find it. And if I can get a show of hands, is there anyone in here who is bad at finding things? Like you're just awful at it. Y'all, I am the worst at finding things. There's this thing called the Strength Finders test, and it'll tell you all the things that you're just kind of naturally good at. There's no such thing as the Weakness Finders test, but if there was, finding things would be my top one. Finding things is my weakness. I have frustrated so many people when they have said, hey man, go find this thing, bring it back. It's in the pantry, it's in the refrigerator, it's in the cupboard, and I will go and I'll come back and be like, yo, I'm sorry. I just like it was right where you said it was, but like I just couldn't see it. I couldn't find it. And the worst time this happens is, I don't know if this ever happened to you before, but sometimes people will tell you to go find something, but they don't really like know how to describe the thing that they're looking for. You know what I'm talking about? Like I remember one time my grandpa was like, hey man, he doesn't talk like that. I don't know why I was talking like that. But he was like, hey, will you go to the shop where like all of my tools are at? And will you go grab the snippers? And I was like, snippers? And he's like, yeah. I was like, are they pliers? He's like, no. Are they scissors? It's like, no, they're snippers. And I'm like, can you describe? Can you give me like something? What color is the handle? He's like, they just look like snippers. And I'm like, okay. So I go to the garage. I stare at the like millions of tools it seems like he has. And I come back and I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I just don't know what snippers are. And I think a lot of times this is exactly how we treat purpose. I think we tell people like, you need purpose in your life. It is the thing that's going to change your life. It is the thing that you need to go find. You need to go find it as fast as possible because you need to activate on it because it's your purpose. And then people are like, well, what does it look like? And we're like, I don't know. It looks like whatever it needs to look like for you. It looks like whatever feels right to you. It looks like, I don't know, just go figure it out. And my hope today is that we can bring some clarity to our purpose. Proverbs 20, verse 5 says this. It says, the purposes of a person's heart are deep waters, but the one who has insights draws them out. My plan, my what I'm trying to do with this series is I'm going to give you the insight so that you can get your purpose. And specifically this week, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the things that you need to know so that you can identify your purpose. Because if we spend all this time digging through the soil and we don't know what purpose even looks like, we'll go right past it without even being able to get a hold of it. So real quick, how do we know that we're walking out our purpose? You will know that you're walking out your purpose when you are actively pursuing the thing that God has created you to do. And for my really like multi-talented people who are scared I'm about to put you in a box, the thing about purpose that's wild is purpose can actually look different in different seasons, right? This is like an analogy I heard the other day. It's like maybe you were told to cook breakfast, right? There's a lot of things you can cook inside of breakfast. You can cook pancakes, you can cook eggs, you can cook bacon. Like there's a lot of things you can cook in there. But if I tell you to cook breakfast and you give me meatloaf, then you have officially stepped out of what you were told to do. Purpose can be broad, it can be narrow, but what we're going to do is we're going to look at how we can narrow in that purpose so that it's not just one thing, but it's a few things, and we can go from there. So if you're taking notes, here's what I want to let you know, is that oftentimes you will see purpose in others before you ever see purpose in yourself. So what does purpose in others look like? It looks like whenever you're just infatuated with the way someone's doing something. Like it just looks like they were just made to do it. Maybe it's the musician that you really like to watch. Like you can just have them up there for hours, just watching them play the guitar. You can just watch them play the keys. You can watch them sing. You can watch them do whatever. It's like they were made to do what they're doing. Maybe it's an athlete. It's your favorite athlete. The way they move on the court, the way they shoot a basketball, the way they throw a football. It just looks like they were made to do it. Maybe it's like your favorite director, your favorite filmmaker. Every single film they touch has this like signature look, and it looks like they just can't make anything that's bad. Everything they touch is gold. That's what purpose looks like. And if you're taking notes, what I want to let you know is that purpose inspires purpose. Purpose will always inspire purpose. So what do I mean by that? I mean, if walking out purpose is actively pursuing the call of God on your life, pursuing the thing that he has created you to do, and you see someone do that, it will inspire you to go and do it yourself. So my question for you is, who is someone in your life, and just try to get a mental picture. Think of someone in your life that you feel like is currently trying to walk out what they are created to do. It might be like a grandma, might be your grandpa, might be your mom, might be your dad, might be an aunt, an uncle, a cousin, a friend. It can be anyone, but try to get that person in your mind. And my second question is, when you think of that person and you think about their life, you think about how they are walking out the thing that God has created them to do, what does seeing them do that inspire you to do? Like, does it inspire you to go, like, pick up a basketball? Does it inspire you to go, like, work on your sport? Or does it inspire you to pick up your guitar or pick up your instrument and really, like, get in there and work on it? Does it inspire you to sketch, to draw, to paint? Or does it just inspire you to have conversations? Like, when you see someone walking out their purpose, does it make you want to go and just tell everyone about it? Do you just want to just go talk about it for hours? Does it look like, or maybe it can look like, when you see them walking out their purpose, it makes you just want to be a kinder person. Maybe you just want to go just be nicer to people. You just want to take another step into your calling, into being closer with Jesus. But what's crazy about purpose inspiring purpose is we know that that's true because no one has ever had to tell you to be inspired. It's just natural. It just happens to you. I know when I was a kid, I loved superheroes, like, so much. Batman and Spider-Man were my two favorite superheroes. If y'all have other ones, like, there's no other ones. Batman and Spider-Man are the two best. And I loved them so much that we would go to Walmart, and I would have to dress up as either Batman or Spider-Man. It depended on the day, but, like, I would just walk into Walmart, just browsing aisles, I'm Spider-Man. And one of the funny things about me liking superheroes is I loved superhero movies, but I couldn't sit still in them. Because, like I would see Spider-Man swinging around, and, like, I had no idea what the story was happening. I didn't know what the plot was, but I'd have to jump around and start trying to, like, do flips and, like, jump around and move around my room, and I couldn't control it. And as silly as it sounds, what was happening was I was seeing greatness happen, and it was inspiring something in me. I was seeing a hero do something, and it made me want to be a hero. And it still happens to this day. Not with superheroes, but, like, I'll watch videos of people playing drums. And I can't get through very many videos before I have to put up whatever I'm watching them on and go play on the drums myself. And same way with, like, preaching. Like, I can listen to another sermon, but, like, it doesn't take very long before I hear them, like, hit a good point. And I'm, like, pausing it, like, oh, how would I build a sermon off of that? Where would I go with that? And what I want to let you know is that I'm not telling you that our goal is to be like other people. Because I think a lot of times that's where we can go with this purpose things. It's like, oh, that person inspires me. I have to be them. No, it's cute whenever a kid dresses up as Spider-Man, when a kid dresses up as other people. But when you're an adult, it's not so cute. It's not so cute to put on another face. Actually, that's like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? He's, like, putting on other people's skin. It doesn't fit well. Other people's skin doesn't fit well. So even whenever I am playing drums, I'm not playing drums to be another person. I'm playing drums because I have my own sound. I have my own style. And it makes me want to go out and perfect my style. Even when I'm listening to people preach, and I'm trying to get better at it. I'm not trying to be Taylor. I'm not trying to be Jared. I'm not trying to be Ryan. And even if I wanted to, which, like, I mean, they're all really good at what they do, I couldn't because their skin wouldn't fit me. And so if you're taking notes, what I want to let you know is that you will know that you're stepping into purpose when you want to do what other people are doing without wanting to be who they are. So what does purpose look like on us? So the way purpose looks oftentimes is it can look like just showing up. Like one of the things that Pastor Jared says is that your feet will do the voting. If you find yourself in places a lot, if you find yourself showing up to play the instrument, if you find yourself showing up to switch often, if you find yourself in different places, there's a chance there's probably some purpose in there. It can also look like opportunity. Proverbs 18, verse 16 says this. It says, a man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. See, God put a gift in you, and he knew that whenever you start using your gift, it's going to open doors for you. If you just keep getting opportunities to do the thing that you love, you just almost like can't dodge it. It's like, oh, I'm always getting asked to do this. I'm always getting asked to do that thing. It's like there actually might be some purpose in there. Another way purpose will find you is if it's always finding you in conversations. Like if you just can't stop talking about the thing. It seems like every conversation you have, I'm going back to playing guitar. Every single conversation I have, I'm going back to whatever it is. It doesn't have to be guitar. I keep saying guitar for some reason, but it can be whatever it is. For me, it's like it's the church. I can't, like at most conversations I find myself in, I'm either talking about another church that's doing something dope, talking about something dope that we did at this church. I'm talking about another pastor that I really like. Like if it finds you in every conversation, there's probably some purpose there. And another way that purpose can look is that, like, you just don't grow weary. Like, you just don't seem to get tired of doing the thing. I have a dog, and his name is Simon, and he's a Cocker Spaniel, and he's really cute, but he's not, like, really, like, potty trained, so it's kind of frustrating. But we're getting him there. We will get him there. And one of the things that he does is he loves chasing birds. Like, absolutely loves it. We live out on a farm, and we have, like, 60 acres out there. It's my grandparents' land. And, like, he will chase birds forever. No one taught him how to do that. No one trained him how to do that. I for sure couldn't train him how to do that. I can't even potty train him for some reason. But he loves chasing birds. It's just in him. It's like it's built into him. And what's crazy is we actually have to put him in his crate because he will chase birds to the point of exhaustion. He would chase birds, I think, until it killed him. Like, he'll just be panting, can barely walk, but a bird will fly by, and he's, like, trying his best to, like, chase after it. I'm not saying that you won't grow tired physically. I'm not saying that you won't need rest, you won't need sleep, but you'll wish that you didn't. Like, you'll wish that there's a few more hours in the day so you can continue to do the thing that you love to do. You won't grow weary if you are in purpose. So that's what purpose can look like. But what does purpose sound like? A lot of times, purpose sounds like anticipation. Like, if you catch yourself all the time being like, man, I can't wait to do that. Man, I hope that one day I get to do that. Yeah, man, if only I could, then you might be finding yourself in purpose. It can also look like frustration. Purpose can sometimes look like anger. If you find yourself being like, why can't people just do this? Or if only they knew. If only they knew this would be better. They could do this. Or maybe it's, if they would just let me do this. It can look like frustration sometimes. That's what purpose sounds like. But it says this in Matthew 7, verses 7 through 8. It says, ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, the one who seeks finds, and to the one who knocks, the door will be open. My encouragement for you is if so far you've maybe seen some things that look like purpose, and maybe you've heard some things that look like purpose. You've heard yourself having anticipation about doing something, or you've heard yourself being frustrated over something that you feel like you can make better. My encouragement to you is to do what the scripture says and ask for the opportunity. See, what's crazy is our God didn't give us the purposes in our heart so that we couldn't get them. He actually put them there so that they would open doors for you so that you could step into them, so that you could reach other people. So if that's you, my encouragement to you is just to pray for it. God will open doors for the thing that you want to step into. And that's actually one of my favorite things about this student ministry is, like, if you talk to the leaders here, there's an immense amount of gratitude in every single one of them's voice when they talk about this place. And the reason why is because, like, we know that we couldn't do this on our own. Like, we know that this place doesn't exist on our own. We know that the reason why we're here, the reason why this place exists is because God was opening doors. And what's crazy about that is it gives you an insane amount of certainty. Like, when you can step into something that you know you didn't do, when you can step into something that you know the creator of everything orchestrated and it wasn't my own, like, trying to manipulate things, trying to move things, it gives you a crazy amount of certainty and it gives you a crazy amount of gratitude. And then my encouragement to you is whenever God opens the door, it's time to step into it. Just step into it and see what it feels like so you can feel what purpose feels like. That's a lot of what my journey was, is it was just God just opening door after door after door and me just like stepping into it and being like, I mean, this feels okay. Like, this feels better than I thought it would. And then I just took another step. Then I took another step. I started off playing drums here. I know I've said that before from the stage, but I started off playing drums here. And if you would have told me that I would go from playing drums to preaching in a year, I would not have believed anything you were saying. I would have been like, that's crazy. That is not going to happen. That's not in the plans. That's not in the cards. I'm not that dude. I'm not a pastor. Like, this is not how this thing works out. But God started opening doors. I went from playing drums to being the sound guy because there was an opening for that. And I started to lead a team back there, and I just fell in love with leadership. I fell in love with getting to walk people through what it looks like to elevate a place. And I tried my best to do it, and it was crazy because I got to see God show up time and time and time again in places when I knew that I couldn't do it on my own strength. And then there was an opportunity for me to start doing some stage time, and I was like, oh, that's not really me, but it looks like God's opening a door. So I took a step, and like, I'm going to be honest, like, it's been rough at times. So like, y'all don't always laugh at jokes. So like, but it felt right. Like, it feels right. And there's a certainty, there's a clarity whenever you put on purpose and you know that you didn't put it on you. When you know that it was a door that God opened for you that you could step into. And what's crazy about this journey, and you're going to find this out, is that oftentimes you're going to start digging. And you're going to be digging, and you're going to be digging, and like, you'll be like me when I was on the drum set. You'll be like, I just don't know, like, if this is the right place. Like, I feel like I've been digging, and I feel like I'm actually like going in the wrong direction. But here's what's crazy about a diamond mind. It's no matter what direction you dig, you might not run into a diamond, but there's always diamonds all around you. And it doesn't take very much of an adjustment. It doesn't take very much of another step for you to turn around and tap into one of them and to find the diamond, to find the purpose in you. I know there was a time I was a kid. I was like 12 or 13 years old, and me and a bunch of my friends were out and we were fishing because we like to do that a lot. And we were fishing at a place in Oaktaha, and we like just start having these conversations. And one of my friends starts asking me about Jesus, and he's like, "Hey man, like, what does it look like to start following Jesus? Like, what does it look like? You know, like you just started following Jesus. So like, what does that even mean?" And I'm trying to answer all these questions, and like I said, I'm 12. I'm like, and I just don't really have all the answers, and like I don't have all the answers now, but I was just trying my best, right? And what's crazy is we're having this conversation and giving him the best answers that I could, and he's asking a bunch of questions I've never really even processed before. And then we get back to my friend's house, and we find ourselves sitting in a circle on a basketball court, praying to God together. And I'm getting to walk him through this prayer of like what it looks like to give his life to Jesus. And what's wild is now, in this moment, from this stage, I'm getting to walk out the purpose that I had tapped into when I was 12. I had no idea at the time that that's how this thing would play out. I had no idea that one day I'd be a pastor. I wasn't looking for it. I wasn't looking to do it. But God was there, and he knew. And even though it seemed like I was really far away from it, the diamonds were all around me. So what I want to let you know is two things. One, first off, I was 12 years old. So if you feel like you're too young to step into purpose, if you feel like you're too young to step into calling, you were never too young to step into it. I was 12 years old getting to walk my friend through following Jesus. And for some of you, you might feel like you've already thrown it away. Like I've already made enough wrong turns. I've already made enough bad decisions. There's no way that I have a purpose. And what I want to let you know is you are never too far away. The diamonds are all around you. Purpose is next to you. Purpose is in you, and purpose is coming to you from heaven. And what I can promise you is at the end of this message, at the end of this series, we're going to find out the purpose that's in you. Let's pray.